Dramatic video purportedly shows the moment an ICE agent fatally opened fire on a woman in Minneapolis.
Fair use, fair use, fair use. I have to say it like that. So let me just start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Ruach HaKodesh. Double honor to the apostles, elders, the elder bishops and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and the daughters is truth. Salutations to the Sasiachim out there that are spreading the gospel to wake up the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. So y'all, brothers and sisters out there that believe in Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, to all of y'all say shalom. So yeah, you saw the video. Again, fair use is for educational purposes only. And you see that a woman was being shot for running away and from ICE. And you already know that Trump sending ICE everywhere now to basically get rid of the so-called illegal immigrants, which is ridiculous because the northern tribes were already in the Americas. If you look at this, you understand, in 2nd Ezra 13, from like 39 on down, then you see here the 12 tribes of Israel split into two kingdoms, northern and the southern kingdom. The northern kingdom, or the so-called Latinos, natives, and the Indians. And the southern kingdom, so they called so-called Negroes in 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. It's being described, so to say. So you can read this here, and you see how you see the line where we were, when our brethren were carried from the Euphrates all the way down, from Africa all the way to the Americas, which was called Arsaruth, which means another land. So here you have already, the people of Israel were living, but then the damn devil came up, and you know what happened next with Columbus Day and all that madness, which celebrates the death, the murder of our people. We should see also here, like in Psalm 55:21, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And these devils broke every single covenant that they made with the indigenous people of the Americas. You understand? So you already know what this is about. This devil, of course, it's far more than this. But this is something that shows you the spirit of these damn devils. But to go back to the video,
who DHS says attempted to barrel her SUV into the path. Dramatic video purportedly shows the moment an ICE agent fatally opened fire on a woman in Minneapolis, who DHS says attempted to barrel her SUV into the path of an officer. As multiple angles of the incident have emerged and gone viral across the internet, users are left divided on whether or not the agent's actions were reckless or in self-defense. In the footage, ICE officers order the driver out of the vehicle after she blocked the path of their truck. But as one of the agents attempts to open the door, she quickly throws the car into reverse before trying to speed forward in the direction of another agent in her path. After the vehicle narrowly misses the agent, he fires 3 shots before the car crashes into a white sedan parked nearby on the side of the street. Hundreds of protesters have gathered at the scene, which the city of Minneapolis has identified as the intersection of East 34th Street and Portland Avenue.
This is f***ing ridiculous. You don't protect people.
In the wake of the viral incident, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem described the officers' actions as defensive and called the incident an act of domestic terrorism during a press conference.
It was an act of domestic.
You can watch the rest for yourself. But the thing is, this, of course, ICE is out there. That's craziness. But the thing is, with this, if you take a look at the vehicle, why would you speed off like that to begin with? That's not wise to do. You bring yourself. These people are already messed up in the head. So if you now push the pedal to the metal, as they say, it's not wise, man. It's not even a laughing matter. But sometimes you just be like, man, these people, man, it's unbelievable. Even if it's wrong or not, still is judgment of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. So this is Matthew 5:26. Salakia. Matthew 5:25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. You see, so this is something that shows you that you need to be wise in the choices that you make. You understand? So, and back in the days, of course, here, when we used to have art or something going on, it's better to settle out of court than, and get things right, than you just going back and forth and making a whole big problem out of it. And now, you risk of being, you take the risk of being cast into prison. You understand? So when you are on the way to court with your adversary, settle differences quickly. Otherwise, your accuser may hand you over to the judge, who will hand you over to an officer, and you will be thrown into prison. It's not exactly the same, but, it is still bringing across the point, like, don't make things harder than necessary. And, concerning the judgment, look, the Most High is the one that is judging everything, is putting people to death or saving your life, because he's the Father of spirits. You need to fear him that can kill the body and the soul in the grave, in hell, as the scriptures say, but it goes to the grave. The Lord can make you come back and, punish you for your wickedness, because after death, then begin basically the sentence. So if you can receive it, because the scriptures, even the Lord Yahushai thought about reincarnation. So here in Job 4:7, concerning the judgment, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished, being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And you see now, if you are seeing these videos, of course, it's a harsh thing to basically, get through your mind. And, if you meditate upon it, it is not like a joyous thing for a lot of people. But the Lord, he decides who gets what. And let me see. You can Psalm 68:20. He that is our power, our God, is the God of salvation, and unto the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, the Lord, belong the issues from death. So he is the one that puts you to death, or he delivers you from death. That's it. So if he can save you from death, that means he controls it. Issues goes into outgoing, border, going out, extremity, end, source, escape, outgoing, extremity, border, source of life, escape from death. So if that is the case, then the Lord, he you already know that he's the one that has everything under full control. Because if you, let me go to another one. I'm gonna make this short. This is late already. Let me see. Let me go to Sirach, and there's a lot of scriptures you can go to, but Sirach 11:14, prosperity and adversity, so the good times and the bad times, life and death. You see, life and death, poverty and riches, of you poor or you become rich, come of the Lord. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Lord. So even, if you take a look at not even just the knowledge concerning this truth, it comes from the Lord. Everything is being given unto you from the Heavenly Father, Yahweh. You understand? So wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law are of the Lord. Love and the way of good works are from him, because you are being, like in Ephesians chapter 2:8 on down, we the Lord's workmanship. The Lord predestined everyone to live out his lot, whether you be the bad guy or the good guy, a prophet or not. It is all predestined. It's the Lord's script. It's his movie. The word God in the New Testament often goes to theos. So that the word theos, you can see theater in there. So this is the Lord that has the scripts, the scriptures. He writes everything, and he wrote everything. He wrote it, and in the physical form, it's being written, has been written by the prophets that have been moved by his spirit. So you understand? So the issues of death, everything is about the Lord's will. You see? So let me see. So what you're seeing here is, let me also go to this. You see ICE. See that woman that died was 37. She was shot in the head. So what is ICE? Is the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, So it's just, I was thinking about certain things, but there's no time to be funny, but here it is. You see that, oh, this is the one. I already see her popping up left and right. So this shows you an example of, don't be messing about, whether it be a righteous thing or not. If she's been put to death by panicking or being rebellious, whatever it was, and she got shot in the head, man. So that shows you a lot. I don't even know if this is where she's from, but it doesn't matter. The thing is, ICE is being sent out to the, to get all the Mexicans, the tribe of Issachar, and to deport them and all that. But who you think is next? Esau, Edom is all together against the children of Israel. So it doesn't matter. Now it's ICE. You might be agreeing with them and whatever or not. Because you have niggas out there that, are about that MAGA life, which MAGA goes also into some left-hand energy. Because everything that these people do goes into deities, man. So, let me see. You see the word MAGA has multiple meanings, including Spanish terms for a female magician, a sorceress, a Latin root for magus, Salafia, wise one, magician. So wise one or magician, the Japanese word for calamity, also in modern English is often used, for making America great again. But they shall build, I will throw down, is what the Lord said in the book of Malachi, chapter 1. So while the political acronym doesn't directly mean magic. The Spanish and Latin roots linked to magical concepts, and some interpretations see a magical effect in the slogan's power. Though the term itself also can mean being tricked or fooled. You see? So everything that these devils are doing, it's they about witchcraft, man. They are really about witchcraft and all types of wickedness, man. So don't let the devil fool you. And just be aware, and also be wise when you're dealing with these, basically with the authorities, because they are of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai anyway. I can go to that as well, by the way, in the book of Romans chapter 12, and that's going to be the last one. Romans 12:1. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercy of Yahweh, that you present, let me see, Salachia, because it's down there. Salachia, Romans 13. That's what I'm saying, man. Just wrapping it up in a minute. Salachia. Yeah, this is Romans 13:1. Be subject to government. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahweh. The powers that be are ordained of Yahweh. So everyone must be submit to governing authorities. For all authority comes from the Heavenly Father, and those in positions of authority have been placed there by the Heavenly Father. You see? So anyone who rebels against authority is rebelling against that, against what Yahweh has instituted, and they will be punished. For the authorities do not strike fear in the people who are doing right, but in those who are doing wrong. Would you like to live without fear of the authorities? Do what is right, and they will honor you. The authorities are the Heavenly Father's servants sent for your good, but if you are doing wrong, of course you should be afraid, for they have the power to punish you. They are the Heavenly Father's servants sent for the very purpose of punishing those who do what is wrong. So you must submit to them, not only to avoid punishment. Like if that woman was doing that, then she could have avoided punishment if the Lord ordained that, but also to keep a clear conscience. So also with taxes and all the other things, but to read it so that was the NLT on the right, on the right, and on the left in the KJV in verse 2. Whosoever therefore resisted the power resisted the ordinance of Yahweh, because he set these damn devils up there. Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matters by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men. You see, the Most High, he is the ruler in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. So he is the one that sets up kings and the rulers and the whole structure, and set it up over it the basis of men, which are these Edomites. If you go into Job chapter 30, they are the basis of men. And if you go back, because the Lord is the one that can lift the beggar out of a dunghill. There's many scriptures you can go to, but I don't want to make it too long. So whosoever therefore resisted the power, in Romans 13:2, resisted the ordinance of Yahweh, and they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation. So you will be punished for that. And how do you prove that again? It's in Psalm chapter, 17, verse 13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. You see? From men which are thy hand. O Yahweh, from men of the world which have their portion in this life. Like these devils have their portion. They have everything. The fatness of the earth, the best places, That's why you see them steens with the islands and all that. And whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. They are full of children and leave the rest of their substance to their babes, the generational wealth and all that. You understand? So these devils have it going on, but they also are the whooping stick of the Most High, for the ones that resist the ordinances, So Romans 13:3, for rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil. Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power? Do that which is good, and thou shalt have praise of the same. For because the Most High, if you this is Proverbs 16:7. When a man's ways please the Lord Yahweh, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. You see? When people's lives please the Lord, even their enemies are at peace with them. So, you see that? The Lord will give you rest from your enemies then. Even if it's for a while. Hey, peace. Goes into shalom, and it goes into to be in covenant of peace, be at peace. Peaceful one to make peace with, Oh, sir, you can go over here. You can skip a line or whatever. I've seen things like that, man. So to make good, to requite, to recompense, reward, to be performed, to be repaid, be requited. And that's, if you're doing right, the Lord will reward you with, with something good for you, man. He will help you out. So, but if you rebel, and because you're angry and all that, hey, the Lord's gonna deal with you, man. He can. It's already basically they're out there on the streets, these officers, and you name it. And if you wanna make things harder than needed, if you're being stopped, they're just doing their job, and yeah, they can profile. But if you show that you're cool, maybe the next time you'd be like, hey, this guy is cool, let's let him go. You're always cool. But if you're an asshole to the cops or whatever the authority is stopping you or talking to you, just be mindful. Like, look, if you treat them like shit, they're gonna treat you like shit, and they might fine you and make things worse and take money out of your wallet, man, just for you being being childish and showing no temperance, no patience. You understand? So Romans 13:4, for he is the minister, so the servant of the heavenly Father Yahweh to thee for good. But if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. So you see, he doesn't carry the sword in vain. For he is the minister of Yahweh, a revenger to execute wrath upon him that do evil. So you will be visited, and judged if the Lord sees you doing evil, going off, man. Wherefore ye must needs be subject, not only for wrath, but also for conscience sake. It's not just, I need to be, do it because it's the right thing to do, man, to serve the Lord. You understand? So yeah, you saw how things escalated quick because she stepped on the gas and all that, and then she ended up being on the news, no? So that's not a good look, man. So that shows you to agree with thine adversary quickly, and that it is a wise thing for you to do that, because you can end up in a casket, man. So with that, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, B'Hashem Yoshai, B'Hashem Rachel Kodash, double honor unto the apostles, elder bishops, and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Salutations to the fellow Achim out there that are, laboring to put out this truth, man, throughout the four corners of the earth. To all your brothers and sisters out there that believe in Yahweh, B'Shem Yahshua, and sincerely and truth, to all of y'all say shalom.